So you can take a look here and see how we cover the United States with regional associations. If there's those of you, I know there's a gentleman here who is from Utah. I'm sure that if you would be able to get together with your friends in Nevada and Utah, I think PPAI would probably give you a hand in starting a regional affiliate there. We don't have a regional affiliate in Hawaii, so if you guys want to help us expand the vision, I'd be very happy to have you do that. The regional association that I'm a member of is called UMAP. It's the Upper Midwest Association of Promotional Professionals, and we cover North and South Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota, and Western Wisconsin. And here's kind of some of the stuff that we do. I mean, this is indicative of what some of the activities that a regional association might have. We've got a booth show, which is kind of, well, not similar. It's actually quite a bit smaller than the one that you're here for. But we have, you know, maybe 150 different people there, organizations there represented. We have a room show, and that's something that usually takes place at a hotel. And each of the supplier partners have a room, and then the promotional consultants cycle through the room. You know, you spend maybe 20 minutes and get a presentation, go to the next room, 20 minutes, go to the next room. So it's pretty cool. One of the things that we're trying to do for our supplier partners is encourage them to talk more about applications. Here's how we were able to use this promotional product in the banking industry and have a successful promotion. Here's how we utilize these polo shirts for a particular type of an event. So that's one of the things, too, you can help your supplier partners, is that although it's really interesting to know how much something costs and how it's manufactured and the materials and that sort of thing, that's important in the price. It's also important for us to learn how we can apply these promotional products to assist our clients with achieving their objectives. We have a golf tournament that's kind of fun. We have, when we say industry scholarships, we give away 3 scholarships to our members so they can go and attend a Women's Leadership Conference or a North American Leadership Conference or those sorts of things. We also have collegiate scholarships. And we were fortunate our daughter ended up winning a UMAP scholarship, so that was pretty cool. So we really appreciated that. You can get involved with committees, and I know we're all really busy. And we have our families, we have our businesses, we have a lot of other things that we're involved with. I would really encourage you to get involved. That's a good way to get started, is work with a committee. Maybe you're going to meet once a month. Maybe it's going to be for an hour or so. But it's nice to get into the swing, because the thing is you're going to meet colleagues. They're not competitors. These are your colleagues. You can learn from each other, and that's the beauty, I guess, of that I see of volunteering. Also, too, you see, how many of you guys are, well, you're all working on your MAS, CAS, so it's kind of a silly question, but it's nice to go to these conferences. Also, a lot of the regional associations have their own professional development, so you can actually earn CEU credits for your MAS or your CAS by attending local professional development. Also, too, there's a lot of webinars, so you don't even have to leave your house if you don't want to. So that's pretty exciting. And then, of course, we have a holiday party. Can't show any pictures of that. I'm not allowed to do that. So since we're talking about education and we're talking about information and learning stuff, there are a lot of really good online sources that PPAI has available to you. And there's a number of PPB, which is a leading publication in our industry. It comes out every month. It has some really great articles in it. And even though, you know, who has the time to read more stuff? Well, at least for those of you who are PPAI members, when you get your PPB, you know, stick it in your briefcase and just kind of scan through it. You don't have to read the whole thing, but you're probably going to catch an article that'll have something to do with helping you be more professional or maybe get you an order, which is certainly worth your time. Promotion Consultant is a bi-monthly. Promotional Consultant Today, you know, we get those every day, and I make it a point to read those. And you got to make sure you keep up with it, because obviously the emails can stack up pretty quickly. But there's always a tidbit in there that I think you can use. Maybe not today, but you can kind of file that away in your head. PPB News Link is the weekly. It's kind of a compendium of information from PPB. And if you want to get more information, you just go to ppa.org. Now, we're here in a professional development session, and I'd like to kind of give you an idea of how long this concept has been around. And this is a very historic moment because this is the first live broadcast that we've ever done at the Expo. This idea actually started in 1961, which makes this the 50th year of professional development for our association. It started off as an executive development series where the senior executives of promotional products manufacturing companies wanted to share best practices. And that's kind of how it started. Then they started having some regional sales training in New York, and then a sales institute, because salespeople obviously are a really important part of our industry. And what the object here is to make sure that there was some sales training, some best practices for salespeople. So that was really important. That was in 1973. And then as you can see how things kind of moved through, in 1983 was the first MAS-CAS curriculum. And then the Power of Creativity President's Forum. There's a North American Leadership Conference that I mentioned, Women's Leadership Conference. So there's a lot of great opportunities for professional development. And then in 1999 was the first CAS exam. And that was a couple of years before I actually sat for mine. I'd like to tell you guys a little bit of a story. When I sat for my CAS exam, it was probably the most nerve-wracking experience because I hadn't taken a test for a while. I'd been out of school for a number of years. And so I went through, I wasn't entirely sure that I even passed. But my concern was that since there were things on this exam that I had to know to be a professional, I called up a friend of mine in the professional development department, and I said, I know you can't tell me the questions that I got wrong, but if you could give me an indication of maybe some areas where I didn't do as well as I should. And they kind of hemmed and hawed and really didn't say too much, and I didn't realize why until a couple days later. One of the gals in the office put this, you know those bouquets of like cookie bouquets, you know what I'm talking about? Well, they plopped one of those things on my desk, and I was talking on the phone, and I was kind of looking at it sideways, and there was this one cookie that was kind of turned, and I looked at it, and I thought it said, "You ass." So yeah, that's what I thought it said. And I looked at it closely, and it actually said, "You passed." So that was pretty cool. I was very, very excited about it, and kind of, I didn't like spike the cookies on the floor or anything like I was in the end zone or something, but I was pretty proud of that. I went around the office. I was pretty excited about it. So that's like one of my stories there. For those of you who are just getting started, what I'd like to do is I'd like to take just a few moments reviewing what you've gotten yourselves into. The CAS, which is a certified advertising specialist, what you have to do is you have to be in the industry for 3 years to sit for the exam. And then you also have to amass 75 CEU credits, and you guys are going to get 1.5 credits just from this particular session. 15 of those credits are specific classes that you have to take. This one is one. Smart Art is another. That's going to be just after a couple hours after this one. And then there's Promotional Products History Part 2, which is going to be tomorrow, which you're all welcome to join me at that one. Then there's 60 CEUs of elective courses. So if you're particularly interested in program selling, if you're particularly interested in social media, personal development, business development, you have 60 CEU credits that you can take, and you can take any classes that you want. And you can take CAS level classes, or you can take MAS level classes, so it doesn't matter. So you have a lot of flexibility. What you can also do is you can get 5 points for industry service. So if you're working on you're on a committee at your regional association, if you're on your regional association board, what you can also do is you can also serve PPAI as a committee member, or if you can't say no, then you get on the PPA board like I am. So, and then of course you have to pass the CAS exam. Now, the MAS, which is the Master Advertising Specialist, you have to be in the industry for 5 years to sit for the exam. You also have to have passed the CAS exam, and then you have to get 175 continuing education credits. So of course you got 75 from your CAS, and then you have to get 100 more CEUs. That's a lot of CEUs. But 100 CEUs that are based upon any kind of classes that you want to take, they have to be MAS classes. But realizing that this is a tremendous amount of effort, one of the things that we've done here is there aren't any required courses. You can actually take CEU credit from courses that are not PPAI courses. So like, how many of you guys go like to the motivation show, imprinted sportswear show, those kind of, yeah. What you can do is you can actually go to those shows and take classes there for CEU credit that'll apply to your MAS. Because one of the things that we realize is that a lot of us are attending different trade shows, our businesses are all really different, and this is a recommendation and just an acknowledgement of the fact that that's just the way it is.